G'day folks. The issue that I'm going to look into today is what does your surname say about you? Now, this may or may not be what you're expecting from a video of this title, but I'm going to tell you what your surname says about you, and most people who haven't ever touched on this sort of information before will find it difficult to accept and consider it to be unlikely, if not a little loopy. But give me an opportunity to put the evidence before you dismiss it. So, what does your surname say about you? Well, it says that you're a corporation, or that you're a representative of a corporation, or a member of a corporation. And I'll provide the evidence for that, and I'll get to that pretty quickly. Part of the evidence is tied up in something else, and I just want to take you back to the your junior school English, okay? The English, how you would have learned, rules you would have learned about the English language in the first 3 or 4 years of school. So we were always taught with English that the only time you capitalise a letter in the English language is if it is the first letter of the first word of a new sentence, or if it is the first letter of a proper name. Now, keep in mind that the English language is actually, it's just a code, okay? Like all languages, a code, and it's a code for communicating thoughts and ideas. And in order for any code to work correctly, there has to be a set of rules that the person giving the code and the person receiving the code have agreed upon. And they're called the rules of English grammar. So when I speak to you now, I'm encoding thoughts and ideas, and you're receiving those thoughts and ideas. And if I break or bend any of the rules of English grammar in doing that, you're going to get the wrong message. Okay? So it's absolutely crucial that the rules of English grammar and the rules of any code are adhered to. Alright, so what I just want to say is, nowhere in the rules of English grammar were we ever taught that you could capitalise every letter of a word or name. Okay? We were never taught that. And if you go and look at the rules of English grammar, nowhere in any book on the rules of English grammar do they tell you can do that. And nowhere in any styles manual do they tell you can do that. Okay? Not in the English language. So, let's have a look at some information. In Australia, and this information applies all across the Western world, and I suspect across the entire world. It doesn't matter what country you're in, this is going to apply. ASIC is the Australian Securities and Investment Commission, okay? Then also known as the corporate watchdog or the corporate regulator, okay? I sent them a question some time ago, and this is the question. And then I'll tell you the answer, and then we'll have a look at something that they did in the process of me putting this question to them. So here's the question. The question is in relation to the style of company names and is general in nature. It is noted that all ASIC correspondence fully capitalises the name of all companies. Example, John Doe Proprietary Limited with John Doe in all capital letters. This occurs even when the incorporation documents, such as the memorandum and articles of association, have been prepared without full capitalisations. Example, John Doe Proprietary Limited with John Doe in normal text for English. 1. Can you advise why ASIC changes the style of corporate name to full capitalisation? 2. Part A. Is this a legal requirement? Part B. If so, please quote the relevant law. 3. Should companies only incorporate with full capitalisation of names? 4. Are there any legal consequences for a company that does not fully capitalise its name in dealing with other parties? Please address all 4 questions and parts thereto in your reply with thanks. You'll know they don't address all parts of the question, but I was being a little obtuse because I didn't want them to know what I was actually trying to find out. So they've responded, "Good afternoon, John." And just to note in their response, John is, I've highlighted that because it's not in all capitals, it's in the proper English text. Thank you for your correspondence in regard to capitalisation of company names by ASIC. ASIC uses capital letters on all company names for continuity. you could look at section 1274.1, ASIC must keep registers. ASIC must, subject to this Act, keep such registers as it considers necessary in such form as it thinks fit. However, how you want your name to appear on your letterhead, etc. is up to you, as long as the spelling is the same as the Certificate of Incorporation. Regards, registration corrections. Okay, what I really want you to take away from that is that ASIC have confirmed that whenever they're dealing with a corporation, they will fully capitalise its name. It doesn't really matter for what reason. The point is, their system is when they're using the name of a corporation, they fully capitalise it. All right, well now I want to show you what happens when you go onto their website and send them an email inquiry. So let's take a look at that. So folks, what you see on the screen now is the ASIC homepage, and I'm just going to show you the process and what happens when you attempt to send them an email from their website. Okay, so I'll just get that going. Scrolling down, and we just come to ask us a question in that under contact us there. Hope that wasn't too fast. Scrolling down to find, see there in the middle, submit your question online. Now we're at the online inquiry. Sorry if this is going a bit fast. Pause it if you want to see where it's been clicked. Just putting through here, not the question that I put to them originally. This is just I'm just trying to demonstrate here what's going on with their software that I think you'll find quite interesting. So now I'm just basically here just putting in any old information with the intention of showing you something that takes place. So note there the given name, John, how it's been entered, and then the family name, Doe, how it's been entered, all in lowercase. And I'm just ultimately I don't submit this. I'm just entering information so that it'll process to the next screen. So bear with us, but the key there that you need to focus on is the given name is John and the family name is Doe, and they're all in lowercase as I've entered them. Okay, and I think I just highlight here the family name just to point out for you that that's where it is. If you're struggling to find it on the screen, and there it is, Doe, all in lowercase, and just above it is the given name, John, in lowercase. And then we go to the next screen. Now this is a confirmation screen that's in front of you, and as you can see there, I've highlighted family name, and what I want you to note is that they have changed it. Their software has changed how the family name is rendered. They have capitalised the family name. Okay? And then they want you to confirm that you're authorising you're authorised to make the inquiry and that it's valid. But I think it's quite deceptive for them to, in their software, change the name and then ask you to check the details, knowing that in all likelihood most people won't pick up that their software has made a change. So folks, I guess the takeaway from me from that is that the corporate regulator, the federal corporate regulator, has clearly told me in an email that they always fully capitalise the name of a corporation. And obviously, I actually have a lot of experience with corporations. I've dealt with thousands of them over my working life. And the reason I asked the question in the first place is because I had noticed that when we incorporated a company, sometimes we did it with all capital letters and sometimes we did not. But whatever way we did it, the corporate regulator always fully capitalised. Now, fair enough, they say it's for continuity. Well, that's believable right up until the point when, in sending them an email, they have to capitalise the surname and only the surname. Okay? Didn't need to capitalise the Christian name, the given name. Just the surname. I think that's pretty solid evidence that the surname, in their opinion, is the name of a corporation. Why change it at all? There's no reason for them to have made a change. They didn't change anything else, just that. Now, I'm going to put up at the end a list of other videos, right? So I've got they're all about 10 to 15 minutes, these videos. There's one that says, called, I think, What is a Corporation? That will identify for you, from the law dictionaries, what the markers of a corporation are. And you will see that the family name fits the bill. Then there's one on the legal definitions of the different components of a name. So your name that you would normally be using in life is a legal name, but within that there's other components. There's the Christian name and the surname, and they all have different meanings in the law. And this again confirms that the surname and the Christian names are completely different and play completely different roles. Then, as a bit of an interest thing, there's a couple of videos on the royal families. Specifically, I put up the royal birth records and the royal marriage records, and they both show quite clearly that royal families will not take a surname. They won't have it. And that's every royal family around the globe. And you should be asking, it's not some old fuddy-duddy thing. There's a legal reason they're doing it. And given that they claim that everyone is their subject, maybe you should find out why. I'll put up some, I don't know if there's any other videos that I think are relevant to this issue, I'll put them up. That will give you the background for the claims that I've made here. So I understand you might, if you haven't come across this before, you might be thinking, oh, this seems a bit off, a bit weird, a bit thin. But take a look at the videos and see if it doesn't make sense. Okay, see you folks.